myself. Oh no, give me that sound. Oh, I gotta go like Cobain. 8 years to the grave, gone insane. My blood got propane. How you gon' go and throw my name with shame? Already cross-faded, making it to the disco. I hate it, and you know how this goes. You framed it, picture painted in my room. This that real life shit, not on Zoom. Got the scene in it.
Make sure you subscribe to JerCrispy.
What's up, y'all? It shows the most, does the most. JerCrispy, welcome back to another video. Chinchu? Cars 3 explained by a black man. Let's get it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow on social media, gonna pop on the screen. We're on the road to 300, and let's see how this goes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Time for some more peek. So the movie starts, and we got McQueen in the dark giving some self-glaze. Bro hit that speed. I am speed. And I was thinking to myself, the last time you said that bull lightning, you popped 2 buck cheeks and barely ended your race in a 3-way tie. But of course, Mater had to interrupt the lock-in. So bro backed out the trailer and McQueen started reminiscing about old Doc Hudson. He dedicated the race to our guy and rode out on timing. And pause right here. Mater has to be one of the best friends anyone can have. Cause one thing bro gonna do is keep it real and support his friends. And McQueen talking jump mid-race telling Cal his blinker was on while he passed him. Had bro's mouth dropped. Then McQueen pulled into the pit and Guido is still that guy. Bro is a one-man pit crew. Going around the last curve, McQueen comes out with the dub, and him and those new rivals of his, Cal and Bobby, are really going back and forth with the dubs, even having a friendly prank war after either of them wins a race. But after that third race, we get a whiff of somebody new coming into the mix. Mans came out the pack like Jin Woo, just aura forming. Then he boosted past the OGs for the seemingly easy dub. This is Jackson Storm.
Alright, now you ain't gotta give that nigga a whole edit. God damn.
And while talking with McQueen after the race, you could just hear the arrogance in bro's voice. Then bro rolls off into the trailer and flexes on McQueen with the tunes. On the race news, we see that Chick Hicks done retired and now it's a race analyst. And during his segment, he immediately got to hating on McQueen. Bro was roasting bro for losing to Jackson Storm. He brought in a car guru and she explaining how Jackson Storm is just peak racing. He is literally built for this jump from the ground up. Now at the next race, we see Jackson Storm on that YN energy, saying McQueen is on his farewell season. He giving bro that OG treatment. From that phrase on, fool Jackson Storm has completely ran the gauntlet with McQueen and the OGs. Bro won like 7 races in a row, and then McQueen heard about his old rivals are retiring. The YNs got the geezers running, boy. Cal one of them niggas who would do anything to hold on to his positive KD ratio. Plus with the geezers retiring, the whole landscape of the scene changed, leaving just McQueen to represent the old guys. In the season-ending race, McQueen was giving it his all. Bro is really keeping up with the young bucks. Bro is in second place right behind Storm. And after this amazing pit stop by Guido, we see McQueen take his first lead of the race. But look at the straight face on Storm. Bro is not at the least bit pressed by McQueen. In a matter of 1 lap, bro had hawked McQueen down expeditiously, whispering in bro's face like how Lance Stevenson was to LeBron. Bro told him he had a good run and mans pushed through to the barrier. Young buck after young buck. All that pedal to the metal got McQueen's carburetor busted and he crashes into the wall. And that was a crazy crash, I can't lie. Had Sally on the sidelines like, oh no. Bro got dead so dirty they gave him a slow-mo sequence into some spotlight treatment. It faded out and we are at Radiator Springs with it. McQueen's is in a slump. Bro done put on a car cover and has been marinating in Doc Hudson's old shed for weeks. The racing scene is thinking bro has retired. Bro really cycling through them Doc Hudson flashbacks too. Where Reggie at? Bro must have not had a dad growing up. Bro said he was gonna ride around the block, grab some motor oil, and never came back. Actually, how does that work anyways? Do the cars like give birth and stuff? Or maybe they just like transfer consciousness into other cars as they get older? Anyways, Shelly came in trying to cheer bro up, and this one of them real gems of a lady or a car, I guess, I don't know. She told it to him straight with love. Basically said, hey babe, you need to switch it up on these niggas real quick. Then Mater came in on his shenanigans and went to go call up Rusty and Dusty. They put the sponsors on the Shelly and McQueen is over here edging the game. He was dragging it so bad they thought he was finna retire, but he said it was time to get back to the grind.
You're about to discover why they call me the Big Bad.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Grind. So Ouija knocked off that primer and Mans was back to himself. McQueen and Mac pull off onto one of them cross-country road trips, and I regret to inform you, but the song for this trip just don't hit like that. Life is a
highway. I wanna ride it all night long. And you're going my way. away. I'm gonna ride it all night long. Ooh. I love you now. This thing that I can hold the road. I can run and ride. Life is a highway. I wanna ride it all night long.
Highway, I'm gonna ride it all night long. Pause. They pull up to the new Rusty's Racing Center, and the paparazzi was on McQueen's bumper. Mans cruised through the place and was in awe. Then Rusty and Dusty came over to break the news to Guy. These two goofies done sold the company to this new tech mogul Sterling for like a couple bill probably. They get all sentimental and skirt off into the paparazzi void. And low-key, seeing all this memorabilia in the place got me thinking they finna put McQueen to the sixth man coming off the bench while Sterling signs a new rookie. But I guess I was wrong, cause they suit Broski up with a new fit and gave him a tour of the new training grounds. McQueen saw somebody up there casually hitting top speeds bro wish he could hit. Then the trainer came down and we learned her name is Cruz Ramirez. She is the best trainer money could buy. Sterling introduces everybody and Cruz got straight to it. And she hitting bro with the old nigga allegations. These them type of young people who be like, if you anything over 23, you got gray hair and a walking stick in their eyes. But we see this new age training McQueen goes through, and once Cruz was trying to get bro to name his tires, I knew it was up. The next day, McQueen was sped up and ditched training to go in the sim racer. Cruz was telling bro he wasn't ready. Then Sterling pulled up to see what the hype was about. Bro gets to going and was instantly making a fool of himself. And once Jackson Storm came onto the screen and Cruz said bro's racing average was 207 miles per hour, I knew it was time for McQueen to hang up the tires. Mans can't even crack 190, and Sterling up there looking like he finna put bro on the bench. Meanwhile, McQueen done tarnished the whole facility. Then Sterling called bro in and gave dude the news telling him he's not gonna race dude down there in Florida. And McQueen low-key started getting heated, but Sterling was like, bro, you're washed up. You're done. Had McQueen begging to be in the starting lineup, so he gave bro one last chance under the condition that Cruz still trains him. So he took off racing down the beach and wanted to know his speeds. So on the next lap, Cruz said she'd stay close to track his speed with her fancy tech. But this was a total disaster. Cruz was one of those iPad kids growing up. She can't function when she actually touches grass. It took these two all day just to get one good lap in. And even then, this slow fool only topped out at 198. Then McQueen had the bright idea to sneak into a dirt derby race to get back into his groove. So Mac dressed up as a dang party supply truck while McQueen got dirtied up for this supposed race. But this grimy looking event manager started hitting the Doofenshmirtz laugh and all chaos started breaking loose. Then when they tried to head out, the guy locks them in, forcing them to race. Then we get introduced to Miss Fritter and her grunts. This is a dang cracked out battle royale race.
That, bro, I don't even lie to you, son. That scene right there, son, to me, that low-key gave me racist vibes.
They get to scooting down the track, and I'm talking this absolute chaos and crash out festivities going on everywhere. People wrecking and sliding and blowing up and dying and blowing up and yeah, you get it. It gets to a point where I'm like, bro, what's the pain level for these cars? Because they're like sentient beings, right? So these are your bodies essentially, I'm assuming. I don't know the anatomy of cars. But Miss Fritter tries to run the runs with Cruz, and McQueen saves her in the nick of time. Had Miss Fritter laid out on her side like she's a turtle, but she flung herself up and was on timing. And McQueen over here stuck with something in his tire. Eventually he frees himself and made Miss Fritter look like a doodle bob in the process. Then this random water tank falls over and washes the dirt off his body, blowing his cover. Now he is the talk of the news headlines, and turns out Cruz won the race. Then McQueen goes off, snapping on Cruz for him wasting all this time basically taking care of her and hasn't made any progress in the speed category. Then bro was like, you don't understand. You don't even be racing. She got heated after that and made Matt pull over. She started wearing her heart on her sleeve, had McQueen feeling bad and jumped because she's always wanted to be a racer. And take a guess why that reason was. It was because of McQueen. She was fanned out as a kid and wanted to be just like dude, but at her first race, she choked and felt she didn't belong around all them V12 engines and American muscle, so she just quit. Then we get a sad scene of Cruz riding off all sad and jump. While McQueen is resting that night, he sees the news of Jackson Storm's new lap record at 213 miles per hour. That nigga is zooming. And of course, Chick Hicks, the meat rider, had to show McQueen's little derby moment. Him hearing the news just hating on his name got bro looking tarnished. Old shawty on the TV said bro has less than a 2% chance of winning. So McQueen calls Mater and tells him he's all out of ideas and doesn't know what to do. Then Mater says something that changed his perspective. So they head to Thomasville to go and talk with Doc Hudson's old trainer, Smokey. They make a little pit stop to Doc's old stomping grounds. The place looks like somewhere they race horses, not cars, but whatever floats their boat. They get a lap in and started hitting that Tokyo drift. You would have thought McQueen was one of them Mopar YNs. Towards the finish line, they run into Smokey and he takes them to the bar to link up with all the racing greats. And they knew McQueen was there to get his mojo back. At the table, everyone started talking about Doc Hudson and how he was a dog back in the day. McQueen pulled Smokey to the side to ask for some help. So Smokey took him to the shop to show bro all the letters Doc had sent since coaching McQueen. Had McQueen all in his feels, but that was all it took. They went straight to the track to start the training arc. Meanwhile, Jackson Storm steady breaking speed records. So Smokey cuts the mufflers off Cruz and uses her to simulate being Jackson Storm for McQueen. After that lap, the training started getting out of hand. I don't know what they doing at this point, but McQueen got 2 days left and nigga is still slow. The gang goes to watch some film on Doc and pulled out some mythical bag work. They're gonna teach McQueen to draft so bro can get in his OG bag. They took bro to the fields so he could draft with the herd. This is apparently good representation of race cars moving at 200 plus miles per hour past your face. And Guido is not holding back on McQueen either. He tried to end bro's career right here. Like, how is this little dwarf forklift throwing anchors off a moving vehicle? That night, the OGs told McQueen and Cruz a little secret. Back in their
like, wait a minute, why are you throwing the whole anchor at me while I'm trying to duck and dodge? Like, hold up. Damn, like this do something. Like, you got personal problem with me or something. Damn, what did I do to you?
Payday, they had an old moonshine spot back in the woods, so the group cuts off the lights and head down to the spot. At first, McQueen was having near-death experiences back to back, but then he locked in and was moving down that forest floor and finished it off with the aura boost jump off the cliff. The next morning, McQueen goes to line up for one more race with Cruz before they head off. Once it started, Mans was doing good, using all those OG tactics to the max, but then Cruz went try hard for once and blew past dude despite all his efforts. Now he heading to Florida with the L in the back of his mind. It pans to the racing stadium and this mug couldn't look any more lit than this. They got this mug booming. Down in the trailer, McQueen is having second thoughts about the race now because of Cruz, but rides off to the pits for the lineup and was greeted by his shorty. But mid-convo, Storm came in on his poetry. Man's down here talking like a goofy you really want to hit cross the face. The race is on and Smokey put some pep in his step because when that flag dropped, McQueen was on go. He getting in the wind, zooming through all these speedsters. By around lap 50, he was already near the top 10, but he really wants first and speeds up. In the pits, Sterling is over here ripping Cruz a new one because she's acting like a racer and he pays her to train. Low key, Sterling a dickhead for real. He could have let her at least finish watching the race, but McQueen was listening and told Smokey to get Cruz back because he's realized who the real racer in this stadium is. She pulls up as bro gets to the pits and Guido hooks her up with the racing drip. Then Ramon suited her up with the cleanest graffiti 95 paint job a nigga could give in less than 5 minutes. So after a quick tap sis, Cruz heads off to the race, but when it started back up, she was beginning to lose it. Then McQueen was telling Smokey to tell her a bunch of random sayings to get her head back into it. But after the third one, Smokey was like, I ain't saying that, and gave McQueen the headset. Once McQueen got on the mic, everything started flowing like butter. She moved herself all the way up to top 20. After a bit more racing, Cruz comes in to pit stop, but we all know Guido got her right back into it. She got back on the track and immediately started eating these lanes up. So much so, Storm's crew chief had to let him know Cruz was really hawking-ish back there. But of course, this arrogant goofy ain't stunting her. So dude has the bright idea to slow down on purpose to go and talk junk to Cruz. And if I'm being real with myself, that has to be some of the coldest mess I've seen in the car series. Cause immediately after the trash talk, he proceeds to casually go back to first place. Hey Cruz, you in that nigga head. A real champ could never. Now that Cruz is locked in, she has caught all the way up to second, right behind Storm. Came out the shadows using that drafting technique. And she knew what she was doing too. Cruz had her Siri talking trash to Storm. Siri said, There is slow traffic ahead, slow traffic ahead. All this ignorance back here got Storm heated. Dodo went full crash out and started mushing Cruz against the sidewall, but her plot armor said otherwise, cause she pulled out that old Doc Hudson special, flipping off the wall over Storm for the dub. Had the announcer shocked, the whole stadium going dumb celebrating for Cruz. She had even earned the respect of the other oddly clone-like racers. I swear all these fools are just like reskins of the same car model. Cruz got to the pits and look at Sterling popping off at the mouth from the background like he knew she was that girl. Like, bro, you was just trying to send her packing on her way because she was just trying to watch the race. Get out my face with all that junk. But Cruz ain't no fool. She told Sterling to eat dookie, and then the Dynaco owner came to offer her the new racing spot, and she quit working for Sterling the dickhead on the spot. And turns out, this dub counts as both Cruz's and McQueen's. Hey, McQueen, that dub kinda Mickey'd out if you ask me. But hey, a dub a dub. Now Cruz is a top racer, and McQueen gets to decide when he wants to retire since he won the bet with Sterling. The group heads to Radiator Springs and are all at the old dirt track.
Yeah, but I think they're about to make a number 4, so we gotta see if he gonna retire number 4 or not.
Cruz pulls up with her new paint job, had everybody flabbergasted at the trip, and she rocking Doc's old number. But then the freshman OG pulled up, and McQueen paint job is so tough, I can't lie. The navy with the red wheels, that mug goes stupid. We also find out that Tex, the Dynaco owner, bought out Rusty's from Sterling. So now McQueen is Cruz's new pit chief, and the story ends in style. Hey, this movie was definitely a good one to seal.
Yeah, well, this movie was alright, bro. I mean, it ain't better than number 2 and number 1. But let's see how number 4 is gonna be out. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media. They pop up on the screen. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Love y'all to the bottom of my heart.